This story begins with the investigating office where Amamiya is angry because the crime rate is rising. She tells Totomaru to get leave, but he says he could work for 2 days without a night of sleep. She refuses and tells him to leave because he was disappointed. At home, he told everything to Kiku and Kiku was teasing him because he had let the culprit run away 3 times. But Kiku suggested that if the investigation office was having trouble solving this case, then they might need him. Totomaru asked who he was. He was standing outside the building with a picture that Kiku gave him and told him about Ron. He went inside the building. When he tried to ring the doorbell, suddenly someone stopped him. He was shocked when he noticed it was the bell speaker. Totomaru said that Kiku sent him, and suddenly the door opened, and a boy came out. He was shocked, and on asking he replied that he was Ron. Totomaru was shocked after comparing him with the picture. Ron told him if he didn't want to talk then he might leave. But Totomaru went inside and was about to step on the cat but was shocked at how it was sleeping. Ron also laid down weirdly. Because the floor was covered with cushions, Ron told him to leave and gave his regards to Kiku because he told him Kiku had sent others too, but Ron had also refused them. But Totomaru wasn't ready to leave. He tried to convince him, but Ron was also determined at his decision. Totomaru even tried to blackmail him emotionally, but Ron was a hard guy. Ron told Totomaru everything about himself, and Totomaru was shocked to hear that Ron knew everything about him. Totomaru asked him for his help, but he refused. He tried to shout, but Ron was having earplugs. Suddenly Totomaru got a phone call and Ron stopped him from attending it, but Totomaru talked with Amamiya, and she told him about a new murder. Ron was behaving weirdly because he told Totomaru that when he hears about a case, he gets excited and can't control himself to solve it. But as he wasn't an investigator, he couldn't take a case and solve it. Totomaru thought that this was the reason he was sleeping on the floor weirdly. Ron told him that he had his flaws so he couldn't continue that job, but Totomaru told him that he'd back him whenever he needed him. Ron got ready and they went to the crime location. Totomaru was talking with the police and Ron suddenly jumped and lay with the corpse. They were shocked, and Ron started talking with the body. Ron investigated the dead body very weirdly and Totomaru showed him the pictures of other dead bodies and Ron told him that he had solved the mystery. Totomaru was shocked and Ron asked him to follow. They went to a shop and Totomaru dressed up like a rich man on Ron's instruction. Now it was time for the haircut. Ron stayed outside and Totomaru went inside. Barber welcomed him with a smile and told Totomaru that they would start with shampoo. He bowed his head into the basin and when the barber summoned him, Totomaru wasn't responding. Barber started filling the basin with water and suddenly Ron came inside. Ron called the barber a murderer and suddenly Totomaru pulled his head up and said he was holding his breath for shampoo. But what Ron was doing there? Ron told him that he was about to die because the shampoo station was deficient in oxygenated air. And that was the reason the dead bodies didn't have any sign of fight or drug intake. Totomaru was shocked and Ron told him everything. Suddenly the barber ran, and the back door was closed. Totomaru asked why he did that, and the barber told him only for money and he wasn't even guilty of that. Ron suddenly ordered him to jump. His eyes were shining, and the barber did that and Totomaru ran after him. Suddenly Ron came to his senses and Totomaru was holding the barber and Ron was a little stressed. They were about to fall, but Ron saved them. At home, Totomaru was angry at Ron because his flaw was that he killed the culprit after solving the case, but this time it didn't go like this. Ron was happy. In the past Ron had solved cases which wasn't solved by anyone else. Everyone was shocked by his passion and skills. Now Totomaru was standing outside his house and was about to ring, but suddenly the door opened, and Ron was very excited. He asked if he had any case, but Totomaru told him that he was there only to check on him. Ron went inside and Totomaru followed him. Ron told him that he was a student of the Blue, which was the greatest investigating institute, but because of Ron's sickness of killing the culprit after the case, they stuck off him and didn't give him a license and prohibited him from doing investigations. Otherwise, they would punish him by killing him, but from now on Totomaru will do investigations and Ron will only control him from the back. Ron teased Totomaru a little and Totomaru told him that Amamiya would control the case distribution and showed him the picture of her. Ron told him about the scenario behind the photo and Totomaru was shocked that his prediction was completely true. Now he told Ron that in the office they got a case, but Amamiya gave him a trash case and now they have to solve it. Ron suddenly changed his getup and was ready for the case. Now they went to the location and a girl opened the door. Ron was asked stupid stuff and he started checking the suitcase there, but Totomaru told him that it wasn't the piggy bank, and the girl also told him the piggy bank was in the living area. Ron asked whose suitcase was it. The girl told him that it was her sister's bag. They went and saw the piggy bank. Ron was thinking about something, and the girl told him that it was heavy before the day but was weightless now. Ron checked the jewelry there and asked why the thief hadn't stolen it. The girl told him that they were having some silent calls and that's why she had locked the jewelry. Suddenly he lay on the floor and said he had given up. Totomaru was shocked. and he started investigating the girl and her elder sister. They were giving him the answers and Ron asked to break the bank. They agreed and did that, and now he told Totomaru to give the coins for forensics. Totomaru came to Ron and Totomaru got a phone call and was informed that the coins had only the fingerprints of the elder sister. This was the crime location. Amamiya was shocked to see them, and Ron lay with the body. She was shocked, and Ron asked Totomaru to tell everyone the truth. Now he started telling everyone that the only way to get the money from the piggy bank is by breaking it and then replacing it with the new one. Totomaru suspected the elder sister because she had murdered the man. He was the stalker. When she went home, she hit the man with the piggy bank, and to hide her crime she replaced the piggy bank with the new one and filled it with new coins. That's why the coins had only her fingerprints. She threw the body using the suitcase. Everyone was shocked. The younger sister asked the elder if it was the truth and she said yes. Suddenly Ron ordered her to drown. Totomaru stopped him, but the girl got obsessed and started running. Amamiya also tried to stop her, but she didn't stop and went into the river. But Totomaru went after her, and when Ron came to his senses, he was happy to see that the girl was safe. In the office, Amamiya was talking with Totomaru, and when she asked about Ron, she was happy and blushing. Totomaru went to Ron and Ron was still excited about a case, but was a little weak. Totomaru thought that Ron was a little weird. In the blue, the principal was informed about Ron. Everyone was concerned, and the principal asked who would investigate him because Ron was prohibited from doing investigations. A tracking officer came forward and said he'd do that job. The principal told him that before doing or taking any step he had to inform the institute first, and he agreed and left. Now Totomaru got a phone call, and he started running. When he reached Ron, he told him that he had to pay his bills. Totomaru told him that he didn't have to call him for such rubbish. When they paid the bill, Totomaru was shocked and the cashier gave them a ticket. They went to check it out, and when Ron spun it, they got a golden ball, which was the first prize. They got a ticket of couple trips and Totomaru wasn't happy about that, but Ron was excited. Spitz the detective was also there. Now they were going to their destination and the driver was also very excited, but when he heard the actual location he was stressed, and he dropped them off in a rush. The place was a little ruined, but they welcomed them, and Spitz came out as a manager. He said he knew that Totomaru was a police officer because of his shoes. But Ron managed everything, and they went inside to the reception. Spitz told them that the bath was open every time, but they had to be on time for dinner at 7 p.m. because there were 4 other parties, and they left. They were taking a bath and were enjoying it. Ron told him about the history of that place where they had sacrificed a girl to stop the floods. Now Totomaru asked about his neck and Ron told him that it wasn't a tattoo, it was a mark that he got during a fight. Now they were at the food area, and they were served the dish Ron had asked for. Other guests were also enjoying the meals. Suddenly Ron took out a game and told Totomaru to play it. Ron also asked everyone there to join them, but Totomaru told him to eat dinner first because everyone was in the middle of their meals. Now Ron found a painting and Totomaru was scared. They started playing and Ron told him the loser had to be a slave of the winner for their entire life. Totomaru lost in the first because the ball went out. They were outside for the ball, but it was cold when they were taking a bath to relax. Suddenly Amamiya came naked. She was embarrassed. Now she was very guilty and was behaving weirdly, so she went to sleep. A man got free, and Ron asked him to play with him. He also asked the other girl, and they started playing and they felt sleepy, so stopped and went to their rooms. Spitz was keeping an eye on them. The next morning a girl ran, and Amamiya asked her what happened. She told her that she had seen a dead body. When they went there it was the dead body of a girl. Her husband came, and he was very sad. Ron was doing the inspection in his way and Totomaru was shocked. Amamiya was also impressed. Suddenly Spitz came and said Amamiya was the culprit because she was the one who went to bed first. But Ron said she wasn't the culprit, and she could prove this. What will happen next? Subscribe to the channel for the latest updates.